How to get the rarest pet in Wrath Classic. I think we're talking about, if I had to guess, it's probably the pet that you get at the top of the Violet Citadel by getting all the books, yeah.
Wrath of the Lich King Classic brought many new pets to the game, some of them easier to get than others, and some that are nearly impossible to get. Today, we're going to take a look at how to acquire the rarest pet in Wrath of the Lich King Classic.
Who is
this
it?
This pet is one that is earned through an achievement, but isn't even listed as an achievement award, so many players might not even know how to get it or that it even exists. And because it's so hard to get, players may never even learn of its existence. But why is this pet so hard to get? Well, it's because it's not only based on a single spawn timer, but 8 spawn timers across 8 locations, and the spawns share a cooldown with other useless spawns. And you thought the time-lost Proto-Drake was hard to get. This means that even if you're in the right place at the right time, there's a chance you don't get what you were looking for. And when you do get it, you need to do it 7 more times. By now you must be wondering, what's the pet? We're talking about none other than the Kirin Tor Familiar. This shrunken arcane construct resembles the Warlock's Voidwalker, but with a bright arcane glow instead of shadow.
I'm never getting this, bro.
A bit shorter. This pet is earned from completing the excruciatingly hard higher learning achievement, which rewards the item, the Schools of Arcane Magic Mastery. But it doesn't end there. You need to use the book to teleport yourself up to the Purple Parlor, talk to Archmage Vargoth, and complete a short dialogue, which finally ends with being rewarded the coveted
Tengo un libro que podría interesarte. ¿Quieres echarle un vistazo?
Coveted Kirin Tor Familiar pet.
Oh, wow.
Easier said than done, though, like we said in the beginning. There is a ton of luck involved on top of being in the right place at the right time.
Oh, wow.
Now, the 8 locations we talked about earlier are the 8 spawn points within Dalaran where the books spawn, which are needed to be read in order to complete the achievement. The catch is that these books vanish into thin air 3 minutes after being read and only spawn every 3 to 4 hours.
Oh, so you can actually do this with other people, bro. Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was like only one person gets one. Oh, damn.
On top of that, the book spawns aren't always the one for the achievement. You could just get some random, worthless book detailing the dangers of Blink or summoning portals or other magical nonsense, and then you have to wait another 3 to 4 hours for another chance at it. But there are strategies you can use to increase your chances of getting this pet. Now, first things first, you're going to need to know where to look. The first book, Introduction, can be found in the teleportation room in Dalaran. It spawns next to the ground, next to the bookcase on the northeast side, right on your right when you enter. Now, the second book, Abjuration, spawns on the floor of the Dalaran Visitor Center, next to the coffee stand.
I thought there was a chance to just spawn on any bookshelf in Dalaran. I thought it was just like randomly on bookshelves in Dalaran. I didn't know that there were set spawn points, to be honest, for them.
I think that's a coffee stand. Footrest thing, not sure. Now, the third book, Conjuration, is found on the first floor of the Violet Citadel. Again, on your right as you enter, on the bottom shelf of the bookcase on the left. And the fourth book, Divination, is found on the second floor of the Violet Citadel, spawning between the 2 bookcases near the portal to the Caverns of Time. It's funny, we've all probably walked by some of these books just sitting there without thinking to check for it. Finally, the 5th book, Enchantment, is found on the balcony inside the Threads of Fate store. It's found on top of a small box on your right when you enter. The 6th book, Illusion, is found next to the heroic daily quest giver.
So is this the only spot that Illusion can spawn? This is the only spot that it can spawn, or can it spawn in one of the other spots?
Which awards emblems of heroism and the commendation badges, right on top of the box on the left. The 7th book, Necromancy, is found on the 2nd floor of the Legerdemain Lounge, on the middle shelf of the empty bookcase.
Easy.
And finally, the final book, the last book, Transmutation, is found on the 1st floor of the Legerdemain Lounge, on the middle shelf of the empty bookcases near that wood stove. Now that you know where they spawn, the next step is figuring out a route to check to see if they're there. Now, personally, I like to start at the teleportation room, then the heroic quest giver spawn, then to the visitor center, then to the Violet Citadel, followed by the Threads of Fate balcony, jumping off there and finally ending at the Legerdemain Lounge. From there, just head back east to the teleportation room for another round, rinse and repeat. Now, when you see a book spawn, it's important to read it and mark when it despawns so you can come back in 3 hours, unless it was the book you were looking for. If it was the achievement book, just cross it off your list.
So if every book is on a 3-hour timer, a 3 to 4 hour timer, it's actually not that hard to do this, right? If you just sit there and wait, it will be there in 3 to 4 hours, right? Is that 100%? If I were to go stand right here within 3 to 4 hours, I would get this book guaranteed. Is that true?
And you don't have to come back to this location. But if it wasn't, then make sure to mark your calendar or set a timer to come back to that exact spot in 3 hours.
But a
I
book
saw it
will
work
spawn
like a charm. I came back 3 hours after I read the book, and boom, the new book was there. It was the achievement book. I was like, this strategy works. Now, if you check every single spot and you didn't find a single book, you can also try changing your layer. It's not a bad strategy to just join looking for a group while sitting at a book spawn, just to attempt to find that book before you go and run a dungeon once you get invited. I've had that work for me too. Very, very useful strategy. Now you can also use Mind Vision, Farsight, Sentry Totem, Eye of Kilrog, Eyes of the Beast, and so on in order to scout around and try to find these books while you're standing in one location trying to check out another one. And another very helpful tip is that right after a server restart on Tuesday, every location is going to have a book. So try to be the first one there after restart and grab all the books. Even if you don't find the achievement book, you can set a timer for the respawn instead of not knowing when to check back again and being totally lost. And finally, the last tip is to group up. I joined the book club channel and let other players know when books spawn, so you could be helpful and try to do the same if you...
Is that a thing on Peggle? Join book club. Yo. Is this a thing that people do? Pose it just joined. Yo, we might be the only 2 people in here, bro. I think you're watching my stream. We might be the only people in the channel, bro. I don't think anyone uses this. Yo. Oh, Nicolina's there. She uses it? Pure is in it? Yeah, dude. These are just... This is a dead channel. It's a dead channel. Fuck, dude. No one uses it.
If you want, join the channel. Maybe someone will give you a heads up, invite you to the group, etc., so that you can go grab that book too. With enough patience and perseverance, the rarest pet in Wrath of the Lich King can be yours. But if you've already collected this item, then you're going to need to see this video here. It lists the top 33 rarest items in Wrath Classic Phase 1, so you can start working on collecting those. I'll see you in that video. Take care.
Okay, that's a good video, because I actually didn't know how it worked exactly.